You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
This is someone who can never meet you in person because the person they presented to you doesn't exist. So look out for the fact that you can't meet this person in real life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to N2K Cyberwire's Hacking Humans podcast, where each week we look behind the social engineering scams, phishing schemes, and criminal exploits that are making headlines and taking a heavy toll on organizations around the world. I'm Dave Bittner, and joining me is Joe Kerrigan. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Dave.
And our N2K colleague and host of the T-Minus Space Daily podcast, Maria Vermazis. Hello, Maria.
Hi, Dave. And hi, Joe. Missed you both.
We missed you
too. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. While you were gallivanting around rocket ships in Florida, we were holding down the fort.
Well, it's a tough job, but someone had to do it. So
I know.
With Michelle's help.
Yeah, that's right. We've got some good stories to share this week. But first, we've got some follow-up here. Joe, you want to do the honors? What do we got?
Sure. This one says, "Hi, Dave, Joe, and Maria. I love your podcast. One of my favorites. I look forward to it each week."
No, that's nice.
That's very nice. Thank you.
That's nice.
I like to think of myself as fairly scam savvy. And this text my wife got me had me convinced it was a phishing text. And it's a text from BofA Security.
No. Bank of America.
Bank of America.
Oh, no.
I couldn't resist saying BofA.
No, not BofA.
I will enlighten Dave as to the mean meaning of BofA after this.
I'm pretty sure Dave knows.
What?
Dave, you've got to know it.
No, I have no idea.
Oh, man.
Let me Google.
Okay.
BofA.
No, don't Google that, Dave. Don't Google it.
I'll wait till after the show to Google it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. BofA. Am I making it worse by saying BofA?
Yes. Much worse. But also much funnier.
Well, I can't wait to learn more about BofA.
I gotta say it.
I'm really looking forward to the end of the show when I can experience BofA. Oh, this is good. I'm so happy that everyone's laughing at my expense.
I'm like crying over here.
Dave, when I tell you what this is, you will be like, I wish I didn't know.
Oh.
It's perfect that he doesn't, though. It's great.
Right. No,
great,
don't
though.
ruin it. Save it. I'll get it after the show.
Okay.
I'll figure out, and then we can enjoy it off air together. In the meanwhile, this message from Bank of America Security.
Bank of America, B of A. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We need you to view this image of check number, and it's got a bunch of zeros and then 4 ones, which is an odd check number, right? It's essentially just 4 ones.
Yeah.
For $169.40 from the account ending in some numbers. I'm not going to read those out loud. To confirm it's accurate, because scammers may change the payee's name. Log in online or go to www.bankofamerica.com to validate, and it has a link there.
Yeah.
Is the payee name correct? Reply yes or no by 5 p.m. tomorrow. To opt out of fraud alerts, reply stop.
Okay.
This reeks of a scam message.
Exactly.
I mean,
certainly
I would
weird
not
looking.
click on this link.
Yeah.
No.
Click on the lick. Right. I would
Both
not
of
click
those
on the
links.
link. Right.
No. Mm-mm.
Huh.
How many of them? No, I'm not going to.
No. I would not.
Both of them.
Right.
I would. I'm just bathing in my ignorance here. I'm just.
You're going to be so sorely
blissfully,
disappointed. Yeah,
blissfully ignorant.
I'm going to take away your bliss after the show.
Yeah. All right. Good. I'll look forward to that.
I'm going to be seated for this one, let me tell you.
Okay.
The check number and the URL were clickable in the original format, in the original text. She didn't remember writing a check recently, and when she went to her banking app, not going to the link, which is good, there was no check listed in the activity window. I loaded a throwaway VM and loaded the link. It goes to what looks like the Bank of America login screen. No way am I entering any information there. So good policy.
Good.
Yeah.
It so looks like a fish is what what Dave says. This is from Dave, by the way. I
Yeah.
forgot to mention that at the beginning.
Different Dave.
Different Dave, not
E.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave E.
Davey.
Right.
Yeah.
I told her to call the bank and talk to them. After waiting on hold for about an hour. Really?
Wow.
It turns out this is a real text from Bank of America Fraud Department.
Huh.
It was a check someone had hung on to for a while before depositing. Why in the holy heck would Bank of America have procedures like this? Just thought you might find this interesting. I do find this interesting.
Yeah.
I also find it interesting that you call the fraud department and wait on hold for an hour.
Hour? Who's going to do that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
have
I
an
would,
hour. Yeah, I have an hour in my day to sit around and wait for someone to get to me on a fraud issue.
Yeah, if I'm freaking out that it's fraud, I don't want to wait an hour, but yeah.
This is something that would make me consider changing banks. First off, the text is not great, but the fact that I would wait on hold for an hour to talk to the fraud department, that would be enough to set me off.
Yeah.
I agree with Dave here that this has all the hallmarks of a scam.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's the artificial time horizon, right? Contact us by 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Right. Or else.
Or the
else.
check gets it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing, when I was originally looking at this, the URL looks legit, bankofamerica.com.
Right.
But there's no red flags in the URL.
Yeah, but I'm always leery of clicking on these things because maybe they're using a different letter, a different Unicode letter that looks like a B or an A or
an O.
An O, yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
true.
or if your glasses prescription needs a little update and you just miss it because it's easy. You go, oh, it's Bank of America. That of is actually a 0, but
right. Where that B is actually an L and a C crammed really close together in the kerning.
The chemming.
You know, I recently got a call from a bank out of the blue. I was, let's see, how do I say this? As listeners know, in the last year, my father passed away. We've been settling his estate, and in doing so, there was a check that my brother received that was sizable, right? Not life-changing, but sizable.
Right.
And I am the executor of the estate, so it was a check that I had written and signed and all that kind of stuff. And I was sitting home doing what I do best, minding my own business.
Right.
And my phone rings, and it's a woman from the bank, comes up on my phone as being from, I believe it was like Navy Federal Credit Union, something like that.
Right.
Which would be a place that my brother would bank because his wife is a Navy veteran.
Your father was also a Navy veteran, right?
My father was also a Navy veteran. That's right. And so anyway, she was just calling to check to make sure that I had actually written this check and signed it and that it was all on the up and up. She didn't ask for any specifics, didn't ask for, just basically just checking in. She seemed very appreciative that I answered my phone because that probably never happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, just an interesting little bit of follow. And it made me wonder what would happen had I not answered the phone. Would it just meant that they hold it for another week?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway. All right, what else do we have here, Joe? Any other follow-up?
I got some chicken updates, Dave.
Oh.
I now have more than one hen laying.
Oh.
I know that I have at least 2 different hens laying because the eggs are different colors.
Oh.
And I think I may have as many as 3 hens laying eggs on slower schedules than normal. But it could just be 2 with one just getting into her rhythm. I don't know. But I have at least 2.
Is this a thing where, like, once one chicken starts laying, do the others get the message and say,
They get
"Ooh,
jealous"?
Yeah, they get
I don't know.
jealous, or is there some, something in the air, the water, where it just now it snowballs and they all start laying?
I think it just has to do with the fact that they're all about the same age, within like a day of each other.
Yeah, well,
That's much more likely.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, that's cool. I also have a chicken update.
Oh.
I do not have chickens. I put a link in the script that I wanted to get your reaction to. And the headline says, "Let's stop shipping baby chickens in the mail."
What is this about? I mean, I guess they're saying we should stop sending baby chickens in the mail? I mean,
Nothing gets
Because-
by you, Joe.
yeah, right. Is that it?
Yes, because USPS can't guarantee 48-hour delivery anymore for the chicks. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, absolutely. You should stop sending them in the mail. When chickens hatch, they have enough food and water. They can go 3 days. They don't need to eat or drink for 3 days.
Oh.
But, you know, in the time between hatching, you can't just pick them up and put them in a box. But like within a day, you can pick them up, put them in a box. And if you can get them anywhere within 1 day or 2 days, they'll be fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And but if not, if it's going to take more than 48 hours, yeah, you're going to get a box of dead chicks.
Yeah.
And
Apparently,
nobody wants that.
this article is about how people are basically receiving boxes of dead chicks.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
A very sad tongue
chicks
twister.
that are spending like 5 days in transit. So
No,
they're
that's
saying
that's terrible. You can't
Yep.
do that.
Yeah. So
So
I
you
just wanted to share that. I was like, I'm curious what you think. So cool.
Yeah, that's maybe a different carrier. I don't know. If you can get a carrier that can guarantee that you'll get them in 2 days, then yes, go ahead and do that. But if USPS says we can't guarantee this anymore, then
Can you just go to Harbor Freight and get some chickens? Don't
Yeah.
don't they
That-
occasionally carry chickens? at
Tractor
Harbor-
Supply has them.
Tractor Supply. That's
I
what
was going
I'm
to
thinking.
say,
I
if
get
you
those
live
two
anywhere
confused all the
somewhat
time as
suburban,
well.
a lot of places have chicks that pretty easily. You just walk in and
Yeah.
usually find them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually in the spring.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But don't get them for Easter because that's not a good idea.
No,
People do that too.
I've
That's
heard
a
that
whole
people
other
do
thing.
that. And that's just terrible because
Yeah.
you can. No, don't do that. If you're going to raise the chicken to be a chicken, remember these are flock animals. They need multiple. You can't. In fact, when I bought the ones at Tractor Supply, they said we will not sell you less than 3 chicks
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right.
Huh.
Yeah.
because you need. It's like any herd animal or flock animal can't live alone. They need to have other, like sheep. You can't buy just one sheep and expect that sheep to be okay.
Right.
You need to like 2 or 3 sheep at least.
Okay. I saw a video last week of a I believe it was a hen. It was a mother hen
Mhm.
defending her brood from a hawk.
Mm,
And I mean, whew, man, don't mess with a mother hen.
no.
This hawk didn't know what hit him.
Yeah. I've seen videos of roosters killing hawks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like having them pinned down and like it's like war footage,
Yeah.
It's like the hawk's last moment of life and the rooster has his claws up and has one set of claws pinning the hawk down and the other set of claws about to just end this hawk.
Yeah.
And
End this hawk.
right.
And finish him.
Right.
Yeah.
Birds,
All right.
man.
I'll tell you what. Let's get to some stories here.
That's enough chicken talk.
It's enough chicken talk. But before we do, thanks to everyone who sends us in follow-up. We do appreciate it. And thanks to Dave E. for sending in your story. Interesting stuff. And if you'd like to send us something, it's hackinghumans@n2k.com. Every attacker counts on one thing: environments that trust too much. ThreatLocker closes that gap with default deny at execution. Unknown software? Blocked. Trusted apps? Contained with ring fencing. Configurations? Verified with ThreatLocker DAC so you stay secure and compliant. ThreatLocker delivers the visibility and control CISOs need without adding operational pain, making zero trust real for teams of any size. Stop ransomware at its earliest point. Book a demo at threatlocker.com/N2K. All right, Maria, you are up first this week. What do you got for us?
Well, Dave, in this season of love, I figured I'd go for a throwback. When is the last time either of you have thought about Nigerian princes?
Oh,
It's been a while.
yeah.
It
has
has
been a while.
It has. It's even just that phrase, a Nigerian prince. It's been a little bit. So why don't we dust that part of our brains off a little bit for this story? So I should mention that this is all allegation. No one has been formally charged in this story yet. So, innocent until proven guilty, I suppose. But this one comes to us by way of the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project and GhanaWeb.com. There's a little mini documentary that just got published about this specific situation just as of time of this recording. I was kind of fascinated about it. It was a romance scam and a humanitarian scam all in one. So to set up the story, unfortunately, our victim is her name is Laura, or that's the name she's going by for this story. She is a Romanian businesswoman. And she got some outreach on LinkedIn. Like a lot of us, she's spending a lot of her time on LinkedIn. And there was like this hot lead on LinkedIn. And it seemed totally up her alley. It's someone looking to invest millions of euros in humanitarian causes in her native Romania. And this wasn't just anyone. This was the Crown Prince of Dubai on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Reaching out to Laura specifically.
Yeah.
So yes, not a Nigerian prince, but an Emirati prince. Put a pin in that one, actually. But yeah. So obviously we know this is not the real deal, just in case. Spoiler alert on that one. But the chat between Laura and the so-called Crown Prince of Dubai goes on for 2 years. Thousands and thousands of messages go on between the two of them. And it actually does lead to romance at some point. So it blossoms. How sweet. And slowly over the course of those 2 years, Laura is losing hundreds of thousands of euros, of course, because I guess the Crown Prince of Dubai needs money.
Right.
Anyway, this story actually has like this two really interesting twists that is really what caught me here. The first one was there actually was a request to meet up in person in London with the Crown Prince of Dubai's financial manager. And there was a real person that Laura met with. There was a real meeting. And at this meeting, there was paperwork and banking websites shown to Laura where, large deposits have been shown. And then that she was also assured that more deposits need to be made. And, of course, because we're talking about a lot of money crossing international borders, there are fees. So she was shown the fee charts, all that kind of thing. And to be fair, banking across international borders is confusing, and I sympathize. So, it seems all on the up and up, especially since Laura flew to London and met someone in person who seemed very legitimate that, knew exactly what she'd been talking to the Crown Prince of Dubai about. And in all, Laura sent nearly 3 million euros bit by bit to someone over the course of time that she starts to suspect might actually be a scammer. Yeah. So she starts to have the realization that maybe this is fake, and it's a very slow wave of realization, especially as she starts getting hit with more fees. And she's messaging her contact through the Crown Prince of Dubai, saying things like, I hope when I pay these fees, I will get access to some of the funds that I have sent because I'm starting to suspect nothing's happening to this money. Of course, and so she's sinking more and more money into this scam because the bank that she was shown at that in-person meetup was fake. The website was fake. The fees, all fake. All of it going into the pocket of the scammer. You want to guess who it was that she met with in person in London?
Was it the guy who was pretending to be the prince?
Indeed. One of them.
This is a team of people.
Yeah, it was one of them. So here's my favorite little twist. There were apparently 3 people involved on the scam side of things, all, yes, based in Nigeria. That's how the Nigerian prince tie-in happens here. What do you think happens when you put 3 million euros or so in the hands of 3 scammers? What do you think might happen there?
They buy a lot of cool stuff, like flashy cars.
This is true.
They retire and think better of what they've done.
No.
They keep
Do you
going.
think they are nice and they share the profits evenly?
Oh. Sure.
Sure. Yes, sure. So as Laura is starting to slowly figure out that maybe this is a giant scam, and she's trying to get her money back and trying to do refunds or just trying everything she can, the other scammers in this team of 3 are speaking up against the one that met up with her in person, going, don't give him any more money. Give it to me and I'll help you. Because that guy's terrible. That's not actually going anywhere, but I'll help you. So, quit giving him your money. I'm actually the one you want to help you. And over the course of time, Laura goes, well, okay, so what is the name of the person I've actually been talking to if he's not actually the financial advisor for the Crown Prince of Dubai? And one of the scammers gives the actual government name of the prime scammer here, the person that Laura met with and happens to have a photo of. So one of the scammer partners turned in his buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
No
So-
honor among thieves.
Truly. So the head scammer has been outed. And I guess at this point is when Laura reaches out to the OCCRP, the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, because then with that information and the guy's photo, they start looking into this. And as Joe, as you kind of predicted, this guy's not hiding whatsoever. Having his legitimate name, he's all over Instagram. He's all over social media. He is real thrilled for everyone to see his newfound wealth, his multiple houses in Nigeria, his fancy cars, his luxury watches, Louis Vuitton, whatever, with the luggage, I guess. He's flying first class to London from Nigeria. Why is he flying to London? And my
To
favorite
scam more people.
Maybe. His wife's also posting a lot. Oh, thanks be to God for all this money that we're getting that's letting us buy all this wonderful stuff. Not going to say how we're getting this money, but
Right.
so isn't it super, super great? So yeah, the dude is not hiding whatsoever. He's just thrilled to have all this
Wow.
money. So right now the UK police are involved here, as are Nigerian authorities. So this is all ongoing. It's all alleged until someone is formally charged. I am very much going to keep an eye on this case because I think it's fun and it's just a drop in the bucket, I'm sure. But for Laura's case, she's only gotten back around 100,000 euro of her nearly 3 million that she has lost. So I don't know if she's going to get any more money back. It's a crying shame because that is a lot of money.
Yep.
But I find it really amazing that the key to this story was that the other scammers turned the head scammer in.
Yeah.
So that's just
That's pretty funny. That's a good wrinkle.
Playing
Yeah.
one off of the other.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, 3 million euros is a lot of money, so I can see why people would start getting really greedy.
You know, over on the Only Malware in the Building podcast that I do, one of my co-hosts, Keith Malarski, is a former FBI agent, and he worked a lot of these scam cases with folks overseas, money laundering and all that sort of stuff. And he always talks about how a lot of the information they would get was from the crooks' wives bragging online about their wealth.
Yep.
They would.
Yeah.
That's how they would know where they were. They would, if they, because a lot of times they'd get them for traveling to a country that had an extradition agreement with the U.S.
Right.
So they'd vacation in, the south of France, and by watching the wife's social media, they would know that they're there. She's posting pictures of herself and her spouse and living high off the hog, and that's how they get them through the wife.
Yeah, I wonder how often the wife actually knows where that money's come from. I'm sure many of them are not ignorant, but I'm wondering.
Maybe willfully ignorant.
Yeah.
What's her name? Carmela Soprano.
Right.
Yeah, will for ignorance is a great way of putting it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as the checks keep clearing, I'm not going to ask too many questions, right?
That's
So,
right. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Well, we will have a link to that story in the show notes. Joe, you're up next. What do you got for us?
Well, I am also keeping in line with the Valentine's Day theme. And I have a story about a woman named Heather Rovitt. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. She's 46 years old and a real estate broker at the time of the scamming. And there is much more to this story than we can go into because this is an in-depth story. And I read one article where Heather was like, I don't care about any shame that I feel about this. I'm going public with this, which I
Ooh.
think is great. And
Scorched earth. Good for
right,
you, Heather.
she's not just going public, but there's also an Amazon documentary that she's done,
Oh.
that she's been part of here. So there's links to that in the article. So if you go to the show note, you can find, go to the show notes, click on the article, the link to the Amazon Prime Video documentary, 2 parts. I haven't watched it yet, but I think I'm going to try to watch it. So anyway, one day, Heather needs some cabinets fixed. So she calls her handyman service, thinking they're going to send over the same guy they sent last time.
Mm-hmm.
But when she opens the door, she finds this charming man in his 40s, and he has salt and pepper hair and a really nice smile.
Oh, he's kind of rugged looking.
Yeah, if you look at
Yeah.
the picture, this is, I look
He's
at this.
got dreamboat eyes. I'm not going to lie. That guy,
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a scam I could ever hope to pull off.
You're at least self-aware, Joe. Good for you. That's-
Yep. I'm like, okay, where's the cabinet you need fixed? over there.
Please leave,
fix
sir.
it and get out.
Yeah,
Please leave.
sir,
Yeah.
do you not own a belt, sir?
I do. It just doesn't work. I have to wear. Never mind. I was gonna say, I have a nice pair of suspenders for when I'm doing work around the house.
Oh,
Hooks onto the
nothing
belt.
more rugged than suspenders, Joe.
Yeah. Especially the
yeah.
ones that hook to a belt. Yeah, that's just the lowest form of way to keep your pants up, but it's all that works. So the guy introduces himself. His name is Jace Peretti, right?
Oh,
That's
Jace.
Jace. Right. That's a fake name. His real name is actually Jason Porter. And they chat. It's nice. And then Heather says, after he leaves, Heather says, "Hey, I need a towel rack fixed." So she calls Jace back, and this time she says, "Why don't we go do lunch?" And of course, Jace says, "Okay." And then that leads to some texting, and eventually a proper date. And within a few months of dating, Jace goes and meets Heather's parents. So this is now looking really official.
You in danger, girl. What?
Right, but she doesn't know that. I mean,
Oh my God.
from our perspective,
Does
it's
she
obvious.
not have any girlfriends?
She does, and one of them tries to help her out later.
Okay. I was like, ladies, what are we doing here? Your friend
Right.
does something like that. You take her aside immediately. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
After that, a few months later, Jace gets a key to her condo, and he winds up spending the majority of his time there. And Heather says, well, he was a night owl, and he said he had picked up a new software job where he was working on his computer late into the night. So Heather went to bed before him.
Oh,
Right.
no. He's a hobosexual.
A what?
Hobosexual.
Hobosexual. What's a hobosexual?
Basically,
okay.
a guy
No,
who's just gonna just mooch off of you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry, I learned that one on Reddit the other day. I'm like, that's a great term for it. Yeah.
Yes. That's a good one.
That's good.
In the music industry, we call them guitar players.
Yeah, drummer jokes, or how do you know a drummer's homeless? He doesn't have a girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the same one with guitar players.
Yeah.
Well, I said, what do you call a person who hangs out with musicians? A drummer?
Drummer, yeah.
And then, but my drummer would say, what do you call a guy that can't play guitar? It's a bass player.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was.
All right.
Anyway, after a while, things start going missing, right? Like just random things around the house, like an iPhone that Jace bought for Heather. And Jace then blames the building concierge and nearly gets her fired. Then a friend's Rolex vanished on a cottage weekend. I don't know. This is written in The Sun, which is a UK paper, so I don't know what cottage weekend means, but I guess it's just a getaway where you go to an Airbnb or something.
Yeah.
Her parents mysteriously lost $750 in cash, or it says pounds here, but it's Canadian dollars probably. I don't know what that is in Canadian dollars. A Tiffany necklace, a gold and diamond wedding band, and a diamond engagement ring. Those things just go missing from her parents' house. On 2 occasions, Jace also backed out last minute of 2 different trips with 2 different excuses. One was, I don't have my passport anymore. It's expired. I can't go to the Dominican Republic. And one was a trip that Jace had actually planned, and he bought tickets. The tickets were, of course, fake. But he said right before it was time to go to Rome, this is going to Italy, I've got to go to court for a custody thing with my son, with my girlfriend that has my son. And eventually, a friend, this is where the friend comes in, she tells Heather, hey, I found Jace on Bumble, which is a dating app, I guess. But Jace convinces Heather that this is all a bunch of BS because he, of course, lies his way out of it. So at this point, they've been dating for a long time. And then in the summer of 2021, it wasn't so much the money that Heather says bothered her, but she became more concerned with his sudden shift in demeanor. Like he didn't want to go to any of the events that she was hosting. And then one Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend, Jace disappears and Heather gets access to his email account. And when she gets into the email account, she finds out that Jace is all over all kinds of dating apps, eHarmony, Match, Plenty of Fish, and Bumble. And she says that he is talking with hundreds of women, not 1 or 2, hundreds.
How does he have time for that?
Well, that's what he does at night. He's
But
not
still,
developing software. He's scanning
That's
women.
a lot of work.
It is.
Okay.
And of course, this is one of my favorite parts of the story. Jace is using names like Jace, Dawn, Donato, Donato. I would look at that as like Donado. Like, I'm
Donatello?
the Donado. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you've heard of the tornado.
Right.
This is the Donado.
I'm the Donado.
Brace yourself.
Right.
Here I come.
Watch out. And, of course, the ever-present Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How many years in are we at this point?
It's like 3 years
Wow.
into this. So she finds this off. She breaks it off with him. The police say, well, there's nothing illegal about talking to women online. Sorry, if you don't feel safe, you should leave. So she does leave. She moves back to her parents' house. Then she gets a call because she had since moved from the first apartment, and now they're in another house. And the landlord is like, hey, Jace isn't paying his rent. I'm going to evict him. And she's like, that's fine with me. So then she goes in there and she finds all kinds of documentation. Like she finds bills of sale for the stuff that was missing from her parents' house. And then all told, it looks like she lost around 150,000 pounds, which is probably close to $200,000 in American money and probably even more than that in Canadian money. But it's... I can't say I would be happy with losing $150,000.
You think?
It would affect me greatly. So I don't want to say this is not as bad as we hear. Like Maria's story had someone losing $3 million.
Joe, I've seen you misplace your glasses.
Yes.
And go apoplectic.
Should have seen me yesterday. I was working on my car and I couldn't find the tire gauge. I was like, I just had it.
Right. Is it in your hand?
It was in my pocket.
Okay, there you go.
Not in your backpack. Okay.
No, it's a tool. It's got a specific place.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad and I guess all too common. I also feel really bad for her parents.
Yeah.
Because the violation of the parents' trust, this ne'er-do-well boyfriend who comes in and the stuff starts disappearing.
Yeah.
Oof.
There's a lot more to this story. I mean, I would encourage listeners to go and read the story. There's much more to it than I can cover here, but it's a good story. And I really want to watch this documentary now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here. I'm going to have to find a way to get to it because I don't have Amazon Prime anymore.
I'm curious,
Yo ho ho.
Maria.
You mean you have friends that have Amazon Prime?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Me and Bezos, we're buddies.
So Maria, at the outset of this, you were lamenting that this woman's girlfriends weren't having a more active part in her defense here. Can you flesh that out for us?
I some of that was out of. I'm just thinking back to my. Okay, I'm gonna organize my thoughts on this one. This was not terribly uncommon for people I knew in our 20s. However, she's 46.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my 20s, when I had friends that had situations like this where it wasn't necessarily a scammer, but things moved way too fast, there was an element of maybe that's normal. I don't really know. By 46, you definitely have enough life experience. So I don't know. I think that's girlfriends need to sit down with you and go, this is moving a little fast, honey. It's just like, are you sure about this? But of course, if she goes, yeah, it's great, he's fine. I promise you it's great,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do. But
it didn't move like romance scam level fast. It moved.
It's still pretty fast.
I mean, 3 or 4 months he's living with her. Yeah, that's pretty fast.
With a key to her condo, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying like that's unheard of, but it's just that it's a little fast.
Yeah.
To me. So I don't know. That would raise some eyebrows for me. I'd go, are you sure? You see, all right? He's on the up and up. He's got a job. You sure about that?
Right. Yeah. Especially the kind of, he moved.
How'd you meet this guy?
Right.
He showed up at your house?
Yeah,
What?
he's staying with you. Have you ever been to his house?
Yeah.
And where does he
what's the
live?
deal?
Right.
Have you met his friends? Like, is he legit? Yeah, there's all sorts of, especially at this age. Like, there's got to be more to it. And if it's just, he just shows up out of the blue and now he's moved in with you and you haven't met anyone on his side of things and you haven't seen him actually go to a job, I just don't know. Too many red flags.
I mean, well, she did see him go to a job. He fixed the cabinets in her house.
Well, then I'm a handyman too.
Right. My red flag would have been
Find me on TaskRabbit. It's official. Like, jeez.
My red flag would have been when he says, "Oh, I got a software job." I'm like, "Software job for a handyman?" I mean,
Yep.
Have you
just open up Notepad++ and
Right.
I'm a software engineer. Whee!
Yep.
So,
I also wonder, could he be? If you think about him being a predator, which it seems as though he is.
he is
Seems-
clearly.
Allegedly.
But if he's involved with hundreds of women, he chose to live with her, which makes me wonder, like, what was it about her? We talk about, why didn't her girlfriends help her? Maybe he sensed something in her that she didn't have the support network that was going to,
Maybe,
like he
She was
smelled blood in
isolated.
the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, aha, I got one. And this is the one I'm going to live with.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just imagining in my weekly catch-ups with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them told me, hey, this guy who showed up at my house fixing my cabinets 3 months later is now sleeping on my couch. He has moved in with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be going, this is not a tap the brake situation. This is a red alert.
Right.
So, what is going on there?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. She probably was isolated. So that makes her a perfect victim, sadly.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well, we will have a link to this story in the show notes. And once again, we would love to hear from you. If there's something you'd like us to consider for the show, you can email us at hackinghumans@n2k.com. We're going to take a quick break. We will be right back after this message from our show sponsor. Most environments trust far more than they should, and attackers know it. ThreatLocker solves that by enforcing default deny at the point of execution. With ThreatLocker Allow listing, you stop unknown executables cold. With ring fencing, you control how trusted applications behave. And with ThreatLocker DAC, Defense Against Configurations, you get real assurance that your environment is free of misconfigurations and clear visibility into whether you meet compliance standards. ThreatLocker is the simplest way to enforce zero-trust principles without the operational pain. It's powerful protection that gives CISOs real visibility, real control, and real peace of mind. ThreatLocker makes zero trust attainable even for small security teams. See why thousands of organizations choose ThreatLocker to minimize alert fatigue, stop ransomware at the source, and regain control over their environments. Schedule your demo at threatlocker.com/N2K today. And we are back. I have a special treat for us here this week. Rather than a story, I actually have an interview, again, with our Valentine's Day timing here. We thought it would be nice to talk to Simon Horswell, who is a senior fraud specialist at a company called Entrust. He has more than 20 years of experience in fraud investigations and document examination. He's supported law enforcement with their work. But lately, he's been tracking this surge in romance and confidence scams. So I thought it'd be a perfect person to talk to. Here's my conversation with Simon Horswell. So today we are talking about romance scams, being that it is right around Valentine's Day. I would love to start off with some high-level stuff here. My understanding is that romance scams go way before we actually had an internet. This is, as long as people have been in love, there have been people trying to scam each other and use it as a way of doing that. Is that an accurate perception?
Yeah, I think that's fair. As long as people have had the ability to take advantage of one another, then unfortunately they have.
So what are we seeing here today when it comes to romance scams? What is the current, let's call it, state of the art?
Yeah, so what we're seeing now are people reaching out to, well, we see fraudsters reaching out to people via social media platforms. So this could be using dating apps with a view to getting them off the dating apps and into private messaging service. or it could be on Instagram or Facebook or one of those other social media platforms that are a lot broader, and that can make the problem a bit harder to spot because those platforms aren't necessarily geared up to monitor certain patterns of behavior.
Can you walk us through the playbook? I mean, how does something like this begin, and what happens as they progress?
So initially, someone will reach out to you. They're not going to be an ugly person, right? This is going to be someone who
Right.
is probably like a 10, a 9, somewhere sort of unbelievable where you're like, wow. And
Someone
you're
way out of
flattered.
my league.
Right. We're not you personally, but like us as a people, right? These are going to be people that are objectively good looking.
Yeah.
They will reach out to you out of the blue and they'll say, hey, look, I just stopping by. I saw you like this, or I saw you were into this, or I just saw your profile and I thought I just wanted to say hello because you look friendly, right? Or you look beautiful. But what will then progress from there is a really intense period of the relationship. So normal relationships progress at, various different speeds. But one of the hallmarks of this particular trend, this scam, is that it will go straight up to 100 and it won't lay off the gas. It will be very intense. You will have the most attentive person ever. They will find everything you say amusing. You will have no disagreements as long as you're not talking about not giving money. Let's put it that way. Everything's going to be the best thing they've ever heard, or they're going to think that you are the only thing that they think of all day long. They will not miss a call. They will not miss a message. And they will, we see this technique called love bombing. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, love bombing is when you basically just spam someone with affection. You're constantly telling them how important they are to you, how much you miss them, how you dream of being together. You're sending poems, you're sending stories, you're sending songs, just really intense, but over a very short period of time. And this is all to progress and accelerate the relationship to the point where the victim is emotionally invested. And then it's very, very difficult for them to pull away.
How much time is there typically between this period of time where they're building the relationship and then when the ask comes for something, for money, for something out of the ordinary?
Well, it can vary. It really can vary. In some cases, it can be sort of a couple of weeks, but in other cases, we've known this to go on for a few years. But with the use of AI now, it's relatively simple. We live these lives online, and if you've never met someone in person, it can be very easy to fall into this trap. Some victims have reported the fact that the tone changes when they're talking to this person over a period of years. That's generally not the case, right? If you're talking to a genuine person, they tend to be the same person. But this is, considered to be fraudsters sharing these victims with other people, or if you think of it in terms of a business, I've got someone who goes out and does the research and initiates the contact, and then they pull them in. Then I give them to somebody else to keep them warm. And then later on down the line, when it's required, I have my closer. So that kind of pattern, this is why it can feel like sometimes you're talking to a different person, or the tone changes. Likelihood is you may have been sold on, your profile, as it were, may have been sold on to somebody else to go to the next stage. So it can be any period of time, but it does have some hallmarks to it that you can look out for that will let you know that you're trapped in this situation.
What sorts of things should people be on the lookout for?
Well, as I say, this intense period right at the beginning, this is someone who can never meet you in person because the person they presented to you doesn't exist. So look out for the fact that you can't meet this person in real life. Now, it could be that from the beginning, the scenario they've given you is that they work overseas, that they can't be with you in person, otherwise they would, or they work all the time, or they're constantly traveling. some excuse that is baked into the scenario from the beginning, which means that seeing them in person is going to be very difficult, and we should just put that to the back burner for the time being. Now, most of the time, you can have a long distance relationship and it can work. But you're on the assumption that you're eventually going to meet. And if the person on the other end is never going to do that and has never got that intention, then you're working under false pretenses.
Now, my understanding here is that when someone gets drawn into something like this, it's very hard for them to admit that they've been taken. First of all, does that match your research? And I guess the second question is, if you suspect your loved one is involved with something like this, what's the best way to try to break the spell?
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because these are social manipulation. That's how these scams work. They manipulate the individual, the target. Quite often we're seeing people that are, they're being targeted based on things that they put out on social media. So fraudsters now can find out an awful lot about you, build a profile, and then they kind of know what buttons are going to work through tried and tested means. So it can be very difficult once someone's caught in this, or as the phrase that I'm hearing quite a lot, or the phrase that we're using quite a lot is breaking the spell. You have banks that are trying to warn people about these payments, saying like, we have seen this before. This is going to be a scam. And again, the fraudsters have got that as part of their script. So they'll be saying like, don't worry, the bank is going to tell you this, but I just need you to put this money in this location, or I need you to buy this amount of crypto. By this time, because of the intensity of the relationship, the attentiveness that they're giving the victim, the fact that they are making it for the victim feel incredibly real, and the dream relationship, the victim is emotionally invested. And it's not a case of not being able to admit it. It's a case, they're so emotionally invested that they can't get away from this. It is everything to them. They are in love. It is very real for them. So the fact that other people are coming along and waving bits of evidence, or trying to pull them away from it, the fraudsters know what they're doing when they're creating this scenario. It's very difficult for loved ones to pull them away. The fraudsters know what the regular objections are going to be and almost counterattack them before they happen. So trying to isolate that person more and more from their support network, from their family, from their loved ones, from their friends, discrediting the warning signs that banks will put up. And a bank can't stop you spending your money. They're not allowed to do that. But it's in their interest to warn you several times.
You mentioned AI. What role does that have in the scams these days? I mean, how much has it accelerated or made it easier for these folks to do the things they're up to?
Yeah. So this has been a problem since we have started living more of our lives online. And that means that we are now used to having conversations with people just through text, for example. And whereas before with some of these scams, the fraudster would have to take a photograph from somewhere else on the internet, which still happens, but they would have to take a photograph, which would mean that you could potentially take all the images that your your romantic partner has sent you, and you can put them on a search engine to see if and where they've popped up elsewhere before, which may give you some indicators that the relationship is not genuine. It used to be that the fraudster would have to write the pieces themselves. They would have to write the messages, which means that you could use things like spelling and grammar, syntax. You could use all of these as indicators. But now we have generative AI. We have LLMs. So these will allow people who don't necessarily speak, let's say, English as a first language. It will allow them to communicate in perfect English, even set a tone. The grammar will be great, the syntax will be great, and you can say, I want to make this playful, so it will have a playful tone to it. It will use playful type words. You can converse quite convincingly without necessarily having the ability to do that yourself, which is what the fraudsters do. And now you've got this generative AI allowing people to create someone from scratch. So an image of someone or a video of someone. You can use generative AI, so you can use deepfake, for example, to wear the face of somebody else. So if you have to do a video call, you can wear the face of the AI-generated person that you've created so that you now appear like them in a video call. You can use generative AI to mimic a voice so that you can have a more realistic sounding tone that maybe matches the image of the person that you're portraying. So it's made it that much more realistic and harder to spot because gradually it's removing some of the red flags or the characteristics that we would have used potentially to pick this up. It's making the appearance of it that much more realistic.
So what are your recommendations then? I mean, are there consistent ways to successfully inoculate your loved ones against this sort of thing ahead of time?
What I would say with all of this, it's like any scam that's ever been perpetrated. It's all about making people aware before it happens. Once someone is ensnared, as we've mentioned, it's very difficult in some cases to convince them otherwise. It depends how invested they are, how far down the track they are. But even sometimes people are presented with the full facts and all of the evidence, and they're still not convinced. So really the best form of defense is awareness, making sure that people are savvy about this potential pitfall as early as possible so that they can avoid falling into this trap. So there are a few things to look out for. As I say, the acceleration of the relationship, the fact it becomes so emotional and so intense so quick. There's always going to be, whether someone is prepared to have a video call or not, there's going to be an excuse why they can't meet you in person. And then at some stage, and this is the key thing to look out for, there is going to be some form of crisis or event that requires the victim to hand over money or help out in some way financially. And that's the big thing. And it could be, we've seen kind of really protracted ones where one victim of a romance scam is actually the money mule for the other victims of the same romance scam. So it'll be send money to this address, and the person at that address is also involved in the romance scam. They are also a victim, but they think they're helping out. I'm sending, my future husband has asked me if I can forward money that I received from this address and forward it to that address because it helps out his business, which is building for our future. So it's that request in there that involves money, whether it's you handing over money, whether it's you buying crypto, whether it's you investing in something as well. That's another kind of facet of this, is getting people to invest in fake scams or Bitcoin or buying gift cards. These are the kind of things to look out for. And you'll find that around that time, the intensity of the emotions kind of drops off. And a lot of the messages are just checking in and asking where the money is, or have you sent this yet, or have you purchased that yet?
So, I mean, Maria, let me start with you. I mean, obviously, these sorts of scams we talk about every week, but it was really interesting to me how Simon just sort of emphasizes the growth of these, how they're everywhere.
Yeah, and we focus on them a lot this time of year, certainly, but I don't really think there is a season necessarily. And we've talked about a lot on the show about even if the victim or victim's friends or family know that they're being scammed, they're so insidious, and people often really want to believe that they're real no matter what. Their self-image sort of hinges on this possibility of it maybe being real, that it's very hard to get someone to stop going along with it, even if they're causing themselves harm. So
right.
We often talk about it, and I don't know what the great solution is here, aside from we just got to keep trying. But it's not great that they're not only more effective than ever, but now with AI in the mix, they're even harder to detect. So people are getting hooked more easily. It's just insidious. Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Joe? I mean, this thing about psychological coercion and social engineering being such a key part of this.
Yeah, and the AI enablement of this just lets you do it at scale.
Yeah.
Which is something that really these kind of scams really needed to be done in person, and there was a limit, and now that limit has been pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've noticed in researching for today's show that the FBI, a lot of branches of the FBI, like different field offices, have released guidance on being aware of romance scams around Valentine's Day. So I think one of the things Maria said was absolutely correct. This is not a seasonal thing. Valentine's Day is just when we pay attention to it. This goes on 365 days a year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, again, our thanks to Simon Horswell. He is a senior fraud specialist at Entrust, and we do appreciate him taking the time for us. Joe, Maria, it is time for our Catch of the Day.
Our Catch of the Day this week comes from the Scam subreddit, and it is a letter from the U.S. Department of Justice Drug Enforcement Agency.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least it seems to be.
Yeah. So it goes like this. It starts off and it says, Federal investigation of violations of U.S. law. This letter is to inform you that you've been identified as a potential witness in a federal investigation being conducted in the Eastern District of New York concerning felony violations of U.S. federal law, including, but not limited to, mail fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, distribution and possession with intent to distribute controlled substances, misbranded drugs, entry of goods by false statements, and conspiracy in violation of multiple U.S. statutes. Specifically, investigators have determined that there is evidence establishing that you have either directly or indirectly purchased via the internet counterfeit pharmaceutical and chemical products from an illegal international drug trafficking organization. This investigation is ongoing and no final charging decisions have been made. If you would like to provide a statement or speak with an investigator, please share your preferred contact information or phone us at this number. Sincerely, David Oleski, Special Agent in Charge.
Is this seems real? I don't know. If this is fake, this would 100% work on me.
Really?
It has all these numbers on it too. You're in violation of 18 USC section blah blah blah.
It says they're investigating a crime, and you may have purchased counterfeit goods.
Yeah.
This seems like they're looking for plaintiffs.
Yeah. It says you could be a witness.
Yeah.
Well, it is a scam.
It is a scam.
It is a scam.
Well, thank you for bringing this to me, because I'm like, oh, interesting. Totally worked on me.
Yeah.
Right through my filters. It's well worded. Interesting. So what's the scam?
Well, I mean, it's just, you scan. They're just trying to get you on the phone, on the line. They're trying to get you to call them, and then there's any number of scams that they can then pull on you.
Okay, so this is just the tip of the spear, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, it's a law enforcement scam. Same sort of thing where you get a voicemail message from somebody claiming to be the sheriff and you missed jury duty, or
right.
It's along those lines. One of the things that caught my eye is that on the letterhead here, allegedly from the DEA, it says it's coming from the Rocky Mountain Field Division in Colorado. But the body of the letter says it's an investigation in the Eastern District of New York.
Yep.
Okay, good point. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
That's a possibility. But no, I followed through and chased this one down, and it is indeed a scam. The folks who researched this actually got in touch with the folks at the Department of Justice, and they were like, yeah, nope, that's not us. That's a scam. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A pretty good one.
Yeah.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just knocked all my defenses right down. And what made it look not like a scam to me was that they're not saying we're coming to get you.
Oh.
Right? It looks to me like, hey, specifically, investigators have determined there's evidence establishing that you have either directly or indirectly purchase via the internet counterfeit pharmaceuticals, chemical products from illegal distribution, drug trafficking organizations.
And Joe, you're like, yeah, that's plausible.
Yeah,
Sounds like
100%
me.
plausible.
Sounds like a thing I would have done.
I'm always
Yeah.
buying janky drugs online.
Right. I do
See,
get
I
some
would have put it
prescriptions
immediately in the
delivered.
trash because I'm
Looking
just
for a
like,
deal? Yeah.
I would have been like, yeah, that's not a thing I do. So, if they said, maybe you've been pirating videos, I go, yeah, maybe. I know somebody who might be doing that, but not drugs, no. No.
Well, I mean, I get my some of my maintenance medications delivered on through a mail order pharmacy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I access that online.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it would work on me.
Right. It's plausible. If they sent this to you, they would have found someone that this checks enough boxes.
This
that
checks
you
enough boxes
could
that I would have
fallen for it.
Yeah, I mean, you heard me. I was on the side that this is maybe we made a mistake putting this in here.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of the better ones we've seen out there. It's funny in looking at the responses to this, how many people said, just in general, never provide a statement or speak with an investigator unless you have to, unless you have no other choice.
Yeah,
Like,
I've heard that advice from
that
lawyers as well.
thing, never talk to the cops,
Right.
because you never know what they're up to. So people had that response too. I don't know how how much you need, how breathless a response that is or not. I don't know, but it was interesting to see that came up multiple times in people's responses to this and the comments of this one. But yeah, turns out it was actually a scam.
Huh.
So
Wow.
beware.
Well, look at
A
that.
good one.
I guess I look like the idiot this week. But that's okay.
That's your turn.
It happens, right? It
That's
happens
right.
to all of us.
That's right.
Nobody
does.
is immune, even
No,
me.
no.
I sit here every week talking about somebody getting scammed.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to find out what BOFA means. So
Yes, you are.
God. Oh, my God.
most environments trust too much, and attackers know it. ThreatLocker enforces default deny at execution, blocks unknown apps, and limits what trusted apps can do. Stop ransomware at the source. Get your demo at threatlocker.com/N2K. And that is our show. We want to thank all of you for listening. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to hackinghumans@n2k.com. This episode is produced by Liz Stokes. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. We're mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester. Peter Kilpie is our publisher. I'm Dave Bittner.
And I'm Joe Dees Kerrigan.
And I'm Maria Vermos. Dang it, Joe.
Thanks for listening.
I'm not doing it.
Thanks for listening.
I'm not doing it, Joe.
All right, I'm looking this up now.
Oh, God.
No. Just Dave. Now we're not recording. You can ask me what is both.
Oh,
of them?
we're definitely recording this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's no way we're missing this. You
This is
kidding me?
This is going after the show credits. So, all right. So should I ask or should I look it up?
No, you should ask.
All right, Joe,
Yeah,
BOFA, what does it mean?
both of D's nuts.
Are you kidding me?
No.
It's that simple?
Yes.
It's that simple, man.
Oh. Oh.
It's middle school humor at its very best, Dave.
That's why I said I'm Joe Dees Kerrigan. I was hoping that Maria would go on Maria
BOFA
Nuts.
nuts.
I
Are
am
you
not
kidding
saying
me?
it, dude. I'm not saying
Maria, you knew this?
it. Yeah. What do you think? I'm a lady? Come on.
You know, my youngest son got me with the Ligma version of this.
What's Ligma?
Ligma? Yeah. Ligma. Yeah.
What's Ligma?
What's Ligma? Ligma balls. Oh, okay. You're a teenager. I'll allow it.
My son still tries to get me with these. He's 26.
So when you go back and re-listen to the part where you're like, I'm enjoying learning about Bofa, and you hear me pissing myself laughing.
Yeah, at the end of the show, I'll experience Bofa.
Both of these nuts. There you go.
Oh, man. See, and here I thought it was going to be something sophisticated
Nope.
and clever, or
I told you would regret
something
knowing
witty,
about it.
or
I'm very glad you didn't Google it.
smart
Let me just
humor.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording.